We are gonna do something really fun. At least, listen, guys. This is the part of the show where you can turn it off. But Eric and I are huge fucking wrestling fans, so you're gonna have to fucking deal with it. But I think people get a kick out of this. So what we're gonna do, as we all know, or if you don't know, Survivor Series is every November. Remember back in the day, it used to be like actually Thanksgiving night. Dude,
Mhm.
I'll never forget eating Thanksgiving dinner and then going up to my uncle's apartment, rest in peace, and watching fucking Survivor Series, dude. It was
Yeah.
like the whole concept of the 5-on-5 and the elimination and the team names and everything. It was I wish they would go back to that
Yeah.
format, but
It used to be my favorite pay-per-view of the year. Like people would say, "Oh, WrestleMania,
really,
yeah, Royal Rumble." I just thought it was a unique concept. It's like
yeah.
you would see guys that would never be on the same team,
Yes, 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 yes.
and
Yeah,
then the team names and stuff like that, and then
yeah.
I just thought it was a cool concept. And then they used to do what I used to like about back then. They would do like the logos of the wrestlers. So like if when they had
Yes,
Hitman, they would
yeah.
have like a target and all of that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then you put the teams together. I just thought that was a cool concept. That used to be back when you said like during the Thanksgiving times when they used to be
Yeah.
on Thanksgiving. That was my favorite pay per view.
Though we'll forget about the gobbly
Oh,
gooker or whatever the fuck his name was.
yeah.
Remember that thing? Oh my
Yes,
god.
yes.
Holy shit. What a disappointment that was. All right, so this is how we're gonna do this. I think you're gonna be very surprised by who I picked here.
I thought I was like, I'm gonna write down what I think is gonna be Will's team. I wrote it
Oh,
down.
really? I
I
didn't
wrote
do
it
that,
down, so I'm gonna
motherfucker.
see. I'm gonna see.
I have an idea who you put the hit me at. No shit.
Yeah, well,
Bro,
he's gonna be
you
on there.
better you better have not picked every fucking goddamn heart that there is.
No, 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 no.
um, let's see here. So here should we let's do this. We'll go each, I'll name a guy, you'll pick a guy. You'll name a
Okay,
guy.
we'll start
But
with
to
the captain.
yes, start with the captain and the team name.
Okay.
Wait, hold on, because I wrote down my team name. I gotta make sure. Okay, okay. Yeah. Why don't you go first with your captain and your team name? And guys, we all know who the captain's here. And by the way, I don't think there's gonna be any surprises for both our captains for this one.
All right. So obviously my captain is Bret Hart.
Okay.
The team name. So I struggled with this. I got two kind of. So
Interesting. Okay.
the theme you'll notice as I'm doing my team, you'll see a
Uh huh.
theme. So
Interesting. Okay.
I thought about obviously the sharpshooters is a cool name,
Okay. Yeah.
but I think I'm gonna go with the technicians.
Oh. Oh, interesting. Because oh man, I wonder if we're gonna have similar guys in our teams.
Mm,
Because I picked. Well, you'll see a theme here for me, and
okay.
we should explain. We should actually explain the theme as we go along because I do
Yeah.
have a theme to mine as well. So okay, cool. Um, I mean, guys, I was him for Halloween. Hulk Hogan's my captain. I mean, it's not even a fucking. I mean, are we kidding? Are you guys? Do you guys know who I am? Um, my team name is kind of a mashup, and they're called the Mega Power Immortals. And there's a
Okay.
reason why. Yeah, I was trying to be cute, uh, and because there's another guy in my team that kind of falls under like the immortal aspect, and Eric probably already knows who that is. But yeah, I mean Hogan. How many times was Hogan in Survivor Series? He was the captain every single time.
Every
You
time, yeah.
know, I mean he had to be. I mean it's just the way it was.
And then they used to do at
So
the end, they would do like the Soul Survivor thing. Remember that?
yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, whoever the survivors from each team. That was always cool as well. So, okay, who was your number 2 guy on your team?
All right, my number two. So remember, my team name is the Technicians. My
Yes.
my number two, Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah,
I
it's a really
it's
good one.
when I was younger, and I think I said this before. I was a Bret Hart guy. My brother was the Mr. Perfect guy,
Yeah.
and there was a point in time that they teamed up, and there's this cool as
I don't
when
remember that.
they used to, yeah, they teamed up. They fought Razor Ramon and Ric Flair,
Okay.
and there's a promo out there. I'm sure if you go on YouTube, you'll see it, where it's
Mhm.
Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect talking, and they're talking about, like, my dad was better than your dad and all of this stuff, and then he says, "We're gonna make together. We're gonna make the perfect team." And then Bret Hart goes, "No, we're
Mm.
gonna make the excellent team." And then they start
Oh
fighting.
God.
But
That's good.
I actually seen that match. I remember they fought, and it was a great match. And there's actually a person on Etsy. I remember I ran into it one time. They had made a
Mhm.
pillow of Mr. Perfect and Bret Hart as a team, and they call it Perfect Excellence. I was like, man, that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good. Yeah, you should trademark that before WWE. It does it. That's a good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good reason to have him there. Okay. So the way I put my team together, I was trying to find people that kind of represented different parts of pro wrestling, like the megastar guy and like the big man and the technician and the enforcer and the high flyer. So I kind of have one of each on this team. So my big man, again, guys, if you don't listen to this fucking podcast, the Undertaker should not come as a surprise.
So far, I got one
As
and two on your list.
I don't think you're gonna get the other three. You
Okay.
think you will? You think you might, but you're not gonna get the other three
All right.
because I think one's gonna be a real fucking curveball. People are not gonna see coming. Um, I mean, come on, he's the other thing too I like about having Hogan and Undertaker on the same team is because they really have like that it's the superstar type of character as far as they weren't. I mean, granted, Taker was became more of a technician later on after he was not doing the whole gimmick shit really anymore of Undertaker. But they were two. You cannot have more star power on your team, I think, than Hulk Hogan and the Undertaker. And I'm talking about Dead Man Undertaker. I'm not talking about the American Badass Undertaker. This is strictly Dead Man Undertaker. So he's my big man on this team. Okay, your next guy.
All right, so my next guy. So I thought about doing it the way you're saying, like having a big man,
Uh
having
huh.
that, and
Yeah.
I just said no, that's not going to work for my team.
That's not gonna work for me,
That's
brother.
not going to work for me, brother. But I do have one guy. I do have one guy that's kind of both a high flyer and a technician, and
Oh, okay.
that's the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, okay.
That's my next guy. I mean, again, I think of the matches that he had, obviously, with Hogan and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, with Easton and
Him and
stuff.
Bret Hart didn't
Yeah.
wrestle much, but the couple of times that I did see when Bret Hart was still like a tag team guy, and they would put him against Macho Man, those matches were great, man. It's unbelievable.
Mm,
And then Macho Man, obviously Hall of Famer. He definitely had to make my list.
yeah. I mean, look. I love that man. I mean, he's when you talk about '80s old school, especially the '80s, specifically like the '80s.
Mhm.
He is one of the guys that comes to mind. It's always, I mean, a lot of it's for people. It's Hogan, it's Macho Man, and it's Flair. Those
Yep.
are really the three guys that come to mind. And like, if you're talking about strictly '80s um, faces,
Mhm.
okay, here's where I start to go left, but I have to explain why. My enforcer is ECW Taz.
Ah, okay.
Yes, because for those who all know about ECW, this was the thing that you watched at 2 o'clock in the morning when everybody was sleeping. Okay. And I think for me personally, I didn't know wrestling could be this because I was so used to watching like the cartoonist nature of WWF. And this was before like the Attitude Era. And there was always one guy that stood out it was Taz. Because he was the short, stocky guy, kind of like me, short and stocky, And there was something about him wearing that fucking black towel over his head. I was like, oh, this guy can probably murder me with his bare hands. And the whole thing with the suplexes, and they called him the human suplex machine. And I mean, dude, he was doing moves that I had never seen, like the suplexes. I had never seen any of that
Mhm.
before. The belly to belly, and the the high neck
Yeah.
suplexes, and
When he
just
would grab your arm and flip.
yeah, and do
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, you
yeah.
just didn't see that stuff. So it was like, oh man, this guy can like fucking legitimately kill somebody. So
Mhm.
he's my enforcer on this team. It's a shame that he never really got a proper retirement type of tour because he was just injured. That short stature, and he even said all the heavy weights that he lifted on his joints, he just completely like fucked him up. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, he's my enforcer guy.
Yep. All right. My next one, current WWE champion CM Punk.
Of course,
I got
of course.
Bro, I just think and we've talked about this via text. CM Punk brought me back to wrestling when I left. It
Yeah.
was
Mhm.
at that time I was in my mid-20s. I was busy working all the time. So I didn't have time to watch wrestling as much as I used to. I would still watch the pay-per-views every so often. And
Mhm.
then one day when they had the WWE version of ECW,
Right, yeah, yeah.
he stuck out to me. That
Same
first
with me. Yeah,
that first
yeah.
promo that he ever came up with, where he
Mhm.
said, I don't do drugs, I don't drink, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. I was like, man, this guy. And you got the GI Joe, the Cobra tattoo, the Pepsi
Yep.
tattoo.
Mhm.
I was like, man, this guy's just different. Something about this guy is different, and his promo work obviously is bar none. And then the work he was doing in the ring. And then when I found out that he's a huge Bret Hart fan, that just put it over the top for me. I was like,
Oh god. Eh.
yeah. So he definitely makes my team. If you look at my team so far, Bret Hart, perfect, Macho Man, Punk, all of those guys are in ring technicians, all of them.
Yeah, yeah. So my next guy is you can consider him an in-ring technician. I think he is. When I say his name, you'll know. You'll yeah. Oh yeah, of course. I needed somebody who, because you know how sometimes there's always like in these types of matches, there's always like this one moment sometimes where you've got one guy who like goes nuts and like fucking takes out everybody with like a move or something.
Mhm.
And that guy for me is Kurt Angle. That dude fucking, is he on your team as well?
He's my last guy.
Oh, nice. Well, there you go. We can talk about him together.
Yeah.
Bro, it's just like, and it's so funny because this has come up recently. It was a really interesting conversation about his run in WWE versus TNA.
Mhm.
And some people think his TNA run is better than his WWE run, and I kind of have to agree
I think he even said it.
because yeah,
Yeah.
he was just, listen guys, WWE even to this day they still have like limitations on what these guys can do in the ring. It's gotten better over the years, but we saw like the full gamut of Kurt Angle in TNA, where he
Mhm.
was just having fucking banger after banger. And people remember the matches with Samoa Joe, who was actually one of my honorable mentions for this. Um, it's just like he was awesome, and he always had that moment. He was like just fucking belly to bellying people over his fucking head,
Yeah.
sometimes. And I know he doesn't like the whole perk angle thing, but that dude was a fucking workhorse, and it's sad to see how physically he's deteriorated over the years, but don't forget broken freaking neck.
Mhm.
So anyway, your thoughts about your fifth man, Kurt Angle.
Yeah, he's my fifth guy. He rounds out my team again, going back to the whole technician theme.
Mhm.
That dude, he took on professional wrestling like that, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Coming from the Olympic side of things, and guys, you're listening, Olympic style, pro wrestling style, totally different.
Different. Yeah,
Way
exactly.
different. I mean, there's more of a obviously, the style itself, but also the fact, these wrestlers that we're naming, they have to have mic skills. They have to have,
Yes.
personalities to be
Mhm.
able to bring people to the arena to see them. And Kurt
Mhm.
Angle, man, he didn't he was a badass in the ring, but he wasn't afraid to make fun of himself also.
That was the thing that got him over. Right.
Yeah, that's what
Yes.
got him
Yeah.
over. And and then Kurt Angle talks about this also when they asked him who his dream match would be, and they just missed crossing paths. Is when Bret Hart went to WCW and Kurt Angle started with WWE.
Right.
Kurt Angle even says it to this day. Like he tried to bring Bret Hart out of retirement to do a
Into
match.
TNA
No, to do a match
or NW.
at Mania.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
but
Ugh.
Bret Hart said it. Bret Hart is like, Bret Hart. Say what you want about Bret Hart, but he takes to heart what he does in the ring.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Of
no pun
course. Yeah.
intended.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he told Kurt, he's like, listen, I would love to wrestle you, but I know I can't put up a Bret Hart match. I can't do
Yeah.
that right
Exactly.
now.
Yeah.
And kudos to him, man, because there's some wrestlers that hold on way too long.
Mm-hmm.
It's too bad it happened. It didn't happen, but that would have been. You want to talk about a dream match? Bret Hart
Yeah.
that would have been an amazing match.
Jesus, can we talk about Bret Hart anymore in this podcast?
That's it. We're gonna keep doing it. Wait till the Nerf Federation podcast starts up.
Oh God. Canceled. We're canceling it now before we get started again. Oh God. Okay, my last guy. I needed a guy who could not only be a high flyer of sorts, but also somebody who could go toe to toe with the bigger guys. And to me, there's no better example of that than Eddie Guerrero.
Nice. I thought you might pick him too. I didn't put him
Yeah,
on the list though.
that dude. I mean, ever since people should go back and look up Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio, Halloween Havoc. What year was that? I don't even know. Just do a search. Yeah,
I want to say 98.
Yeah, just do a search for Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Halloween Havoc, WCW. That video is out there somewhere.
Or Dean Malenko. He put on matches with Dean Malenko. Crazy.
We never really saw stuff like that in WWE. No, we didn't see stuff like that in WWF because they had that. They combined like that lucha. It was purely like a lucha match, and it was purely a Mexican wrestling match. And over the years, Eddie got more. He changed his style obviously because he was getting older, but he still did. He was still able to do some high flying stuff. Like he did the frog splash. He did he did Hurricane Ranas. He also was technical, and he got himself over by being lying, cheating, and stealing. So I mean, that was like a big. You want to talk about playing up stereotypes? Jesus Christ, that guy played up the whole Mexican stereotype thing.
But remember that all started in ECW though.
And
then WCW swiped them up, and then they started doing that.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, dude, there were so many people. So I'll tell you. Okay, so who are the people that you thought I was gonna have besides Hogan and Taker?
So I had Hogan and Taker. I thought you were gonna put Bryan Danielson on there.
He's on my honorable mentions.
I thought you were gonna put Kenny Omega on there.
He's on my honorable mentions as well.
and I thought you were gonna put Okada on there too.
He's on my honorable mentions as well.
Do I know you or what?
Yeah. So I'll tell you who else. So I got Danielson, obviously. I got AJ Styles. I love AJ Styles. Like he is. Yeah, he is. I wish he would have gotten more of a career in WWE. And you always hear the stories like they kicked themselves in the ass about that. They didn't sign him earlier. There were so many chances to sign him, and they never did it. So I got AJ. I got Samoa Joe. I've got Kenny Omega. I've got the whole effing show, Rob Van Dam. Also one of my other favorites from ECW. I got Moose on there from TNA. People who know Moose. He is one of those jacked dudes that can move really well. He used to play NFL football. Doesn't really have much of a personality, which is fine for where he is in TNA, but he is a physical specimen. Okada from New Japan. For people who are unaware, just think about this. I'll give you a perfect comparison. For a very long time, Okada was New Japan's version of John Cena. That's all you need to know. That's exactly what you need to know. And then the other New Japan guy is Tanahashi, who is retiring this year after being, I think, like 20 years or so in the ring for New Japan. But did you have any? Did you have any honorable mentions? I don't think you mentioned anybody that maybe didn't make the list.
I had a few. Yeah, I had a few that I was. This five. I've thought about this five for a while, so that was my set
Oh
five.
God, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's funny.
But the fifth one was the only one that I was debating on. But Kurt Angle's an animal. I
Yeah,
gotta have him on there.
yeah. Kurt
Um,
Angle's, yeah, yeah.
I think Piper would have been one again.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I
Yeah,
think Piper he wouldn't fit the technician mold of my team, but
sure.
you want to talk about a brawler and just
Yeah,
magical on the mic? That's
yeah.
Piper. Another guy I thought about was Chris Jericho,
Yeah, that's another good one. Yeah.
and my last one, even though we're not supposed to mention his name, Chris Benoit.
Oh no, we can mention his name. I think somebody. I think it was. Did you see what Maven said recently about that? He was like, I like Maven. Maven's very against the grain in some ways, but he
Hmm.
was saying, for people who don't remember Maven, he used to be. He was on the first Tough Enough, which was the reality show where they had back in the day to find new wrestlers. He was saying that I'm the same way because I think you have to be. You can separate
Yeah,
because he was a fucking. I mean, I loved watching him wrestle, man. He was one of my favorite wrestlers. I was there at WrestleMania when he won in 20 when he beat Triple H for the title. Right, that was Triple H he beat, right? Yeah, yeah, Triple H.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, he was great. He was. I don't want to call him a modern day Bret Hart, but kind of in that vein
Hmm.
of the technician. And that dude was fucking jacked beyond all belief for a guy that size, which
Yeah.
unfortunately probably led to the issues that he had. But yeah, I mean, I can separate what he did. What he did, terrible. Murdered his family. I'm not excusing because we know now it was CTE, but doesn't excuse anything. But I can separate what he did versus his in ring career. So,
Yeah. I think two more guys that I thought about: Owen Hart and
mm.
and Booker T.
Oh, Booker T's a good one.
Yeah.
The old WCW Booker T when he went on his little singles run,
Yeah.
that is my he was definitely a favorite of mine. Uh and now he annoys the shit out of me on
now,
commentary.
now I love him. He's hilarious,
Oh God.
especially with Stephanie
Oh,
Vaquer's wrestling.
oh God. Fucking you fucking dirty old man. Seriously. Oh man. All right.